Hey besties, welcome to our group chat podcast. We're your hosts, Sarah
and Milena. We're here to discuss all things pop culture, reality TV, entertainment, and everything in between.
The same way you would in your favorite group chat.
Thanks for listening. Okay, hey Sarah, how are you doing?
I'm Elena. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I found out the worst news.
What?
I'm going back to work.
Oh no.
Thankful to have a job because so many people lost their jobs, but I'm sad that I'm not gonna be able to sit at home and watch shows.
Oh my God, that sucks. But also, yeah, it's like kind of a blessing in disguise because it means we're finally like opening up again. I can't wait to sit on a patio and have a drink.
I just want to go out, go to a restaurant, have some wine, and see people other than my family.
I know, right? I miss the social interaction. I feel like before I was always avoiding going to functions and whatnot, and now I will never not miss a function again.
I know. I say that now, but
True.
Okay, so this week we're going to be talking about our thoughts on Katie as a new bachelorette. We're going to officially name our top 5. I know last week we named our top 3, but 2 of our top 3s went home.
So. Yeah, your girls were wrong.
So we're going to rename our top 5. I think now after seeing each and every one of them, we'll have a better vibe of who we think will stay. And then just recap some of the men and some things that happened during the episode that were funny.
It was pretty juicy.
It was actually really good.
Yeah.
I normally don't like first episodes. I think they're kind of boring. I normally skip through parts of them, but this one, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I liked Tayshia. I liked Caitlyn.
Me too.
It was really good.
It was really good. I feel like, yeah, like you said, other seasons I've just sort of skipped through, and I watched from start to finish. Not once did I skip forward. I was really paying attention. I don't know if it's because of the podcast and I was making notes, but I felt so intrigued this episode, and I'm really excited because it's going to be dramatic. We already had a little bit of drama that we don't even know about what happened with freaking AA Ron, but we'll get to that later on in the podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love, like we said last week, I love watching The Bachelorette over The Bachelor because men's are a different type of petty.
Yeah.
A petty that I enjoy to watch.
So, I know, right?
Yeah, and I feel like they always try to outdo themselves and show who's more macho. So I'm excited to watch to see who's going to be the loser of the season.
Me too.
Who's going to be the Ed?
Who's gonna be the Ed?
That's what I want to know.
Me too.
But yeah, Katie as the Bachelorette, I really feel like it's going to be a lot different than previous seasons because she's very sex positive, which I love. But at the same time, it was weird. I've never seen or heard so many sex innuendos in my entire life while watching The Bachelor or Bachelorette.
I know. And I liked her story. We finally got to know who Katie was. I felt like on Matt's season, we didn't actually know anything about her. We knew that her father had passed away, but we didn't really know much about her. And getting to know her childhood and whatnot, she's so relatable and she's such a real girl. I feel like in the past, so many of the women have just been I don't know. They just didn't feel like an attainable person, and Katie is someone that you could picture your manager or a friend or a sister, and I feel like that was what was so relatable about her. But yeah, going back to the innuendos, it was just a lot. I think a lot to every other person had some kind of pun, and it was fun, but I also felt like it was a little bit overkill.
Yeah, it was I think the person that really kind of ruined it for me was Courtney.
Me too.
Going and going. And I was like, okay, is it going to end?
I know. At first I was like, okay, this is kind of cute. And he did his research, but it just, at the end, I was just I'm cringing, and it just made me uncomfortable. And there's so much more to Katie than being sex positive. And I feel like the guys just burned it to the ground with
Yeah, it was too much. But I'm excited to see her kind of make it a little different this season because it will be different. So I'm excited to watch. I just hope it's not like too much.
Too raunchy.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do too raunchy for The Bachelorette,
I know, me
but we'll
either.
see. So far, I'm liking it. It was a really good first episode. I really liked it. I feel like we're gonna see a whole different side of Katie,
Hmm.
and I'm excited to see that side of her. She's so relatable. Even when she was doing like her promos and like they were filming her leaning against the wall, she was like, "How do people do this?" And I was like,
Yes.
seriously, finally someone that says it. Like everyone looks so weird when they're doing it. And she like acknowledged, like, hey, like this is not normal.
No, I loved it. And you're totally right. And I also loved Tasha and Caitlyn together. But I feel like Tasha even more. Like, I love Caitlyn Bristow, but I don't know if you also felt this, she was kind of like awkward.
Mm,
Whereas Tasha, maybe because she was just the Bachelorette, she was just so much more like relaxed and in her element. And I just felt like Caitlyn, I don't know, she was like a little bit awkward. So honestly, like I would love to
yeah.
see Tasha just like fully take over the host.
I think it's because Caitlyn hasn't been on like TV other than like Dancing with the no, yeah, Dancing with the Stars in a while. Like she hasn't hosted, she hasn't been like involved in Bachelor Nation other than like her podcast.
Yeah,
So
you're
kind of
right.
her being on TV hosting, like it's probably like so weird
Yeah, no, I totally
because her season
agree.
was so long ago, like maybe at least 5 years ago.
I know. That's so true.
But I am excited. So I feel like Tasha and Caitlyn are so different, but
Hmm.
they're gonna blend so well.
Yeah, and like I guess Caitlyn kind of plays in on Katie's like more quirky side, and then
Mhm.
Tasha is the more like composed, like sex positive, passionate, like outgoing part. So you're
Yeah,
right. I think they'll be like it'll be perfect together in the end. I think it was just like they had to get through that first initial episode and get
yeah,
the nervousness out, and then it'll definitely be better in the next episodes.
yeah. It's also weird because like normally it's Chris Harrison and he doesn't really play a big role.
Mm-hmm.
As much as people are like, "Oh my God, I'm not gonna watch," Chris isn't on it. Like he only said like 5 words an episode,
I know, right?
five
And he was
phrases, like
weird. I don't
nothing.
know. It was kind of like odd. Like, why do we have like a 40-year-old man with grown ass children hosting the show? And like, I was just thinking about how Chris Harrison with the men, like, sure, it makes sense. They can have their like bro talks, but to have like a man hosting for The Bachelorette, I think it's so different. You have such a different experience when you have
Hmm.
another woman there that's there to cheer you on and help you out. Because the advice that you'd get from a man, I think, would be different than you'd get from a woman. So I'm excited that he's not on
Oh, me
the
too.
show moving forward.
Me too. I think having people that have done it before is amazing. Great idea. They should have done this way sooner.
Hmm.
It gives that person a different kind of support, like the support that Chris Harrison couldn't provide.
Hmm.
They're being able to provide for the lead, which I think is amazing. And just like a little like comfort and as even though like might not be close friends, like it's still like a sense of home because Bachelor Nation, they're so tight knit for the most part. Like you always see them hanging out together on social media, going to like concerts and all that stuff together. So it's gonna be like a nice little family between the three of them, helping her find like her way to love.
Yes. So should we get into the men this season?
Yes. Yes. So let's start with our top three because
Oh
and we'll go.
Lord.
My top three were Landon, Jeff, and Cody, and yours were Jeff, Austin, and Garrett.
Yeah.
Only Cody and Garrett stayed.
I'm shocked. Like okay. I was a little unsure because I had, threw a curveball in there adding Austin, but I
Yeah.
don't even think she spoke a word to him.
I didn't see him talk once. I think the only time I saw him talk was when he came out the limo.
Yeah. Oh,
We both put Jeff, and I was like so gung ho about Jeff. I loved him. So did you. And he was the biggest disappointment. The RV of it all took me out.
like first of all, I didn't know this was his home. I thought he rented it maybe off like Airbnb or something, and it was going
Mhm.
to be like gorgeous inside, like a way to be like, I'm really fun and outdoorsy, but we could do this on the weekends. This was his
Mm.
home. Like it was dirty, and he had like a Costco sized vegetable tray
I
and
can't.
like Lipton iced tea. And then he made that comment being like, "Oh, it's not alcohol because I wouldn't want to take you to the bedroom right away." Haha. It was so
I was
awkward.
cringing. And he had like his dirty laundry. And I'm like, Jeff, how old are you? Get it
Right?
together. And he kept insisting, like, and I think I realized, oh, he actually lives here. But he kept insisting, like, oh, this is my place. Like, and he kept insisting, like, Katie, like, if we make it to the end, like, we're gonna be living in this RV together. And I was
Right? Like he
like,
had her
oh.
cupboard ready.
Yeah. And she was like, no.
Oh, and she just looked so awkward. And then when she kept talking about how he was like eating the celery and all the vegetables, and you could hear the crunch on the TV. Yeah, it was just all of it. All of it was just so awkward. And he was so opposite of what I expected. But you know what?
Mhm.
His occupation as a skin salesman, how weird that is, truly matches up to who he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, he was crazy. I'm happy he left. And then
Hmm.
Landon, I also have major regrets because I had so much hope for him. He's the guy that had the Sunshine nickname, and I was like, oh, like this will be great. Like he, first of all, I I'm trying to watch what I say because I don't want to be rude, but he looked very different from his picture,
Oh, yeah,
and I just think he was just a weirdo.
he was.
Like
Did he
he
go
was like,
home?
yeah,
Did they speak?
I don't think so.
I'm kind of shocked too because he came in with like his pink outfit
Yeah,
and
the
I thought
salmon
that was going to
suit.
be, yeah, I thought the salmon suit was going to be a hit.
Apparently, it wasn't.
Oh my
I feel
gosh.
like he would have 100% if he stayed, he would have been the Ed of the season. Like when I saw him, he just reminded me of Ed.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But that means that there's another villain out there walking around.
Yeah, I 100% think it's A Ron
I think it's A. Ron as well.
and Carl.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Can we please talk about Aaron and Carl? First of all,
Yeah,
Aaron, Ron, I had higher hopes for him. I thought he was
so
going
did
to
I.
be mature and like wow her, but instead he was just like the classic frat guy, ready to
Mhm.
have a drink or 15 with the boys. And he doesn't really seem like he's there for Katie.
Yeah, and when he was confronting Cody, I honestly had to rewind. I was like, did I miss a part of this episode? Like, what am I missing? And why it's like, I don't like you. And he's saying all this stuff, and I was like, did I miss something?
I know, me too. I was like, did they add in the wrong edit?
It was crazy.
Like, what happened?
They must know each other from home. Like, they must have like maybe ran in the same circles or something. Because like, how do you have drama on night one?
Right? And we only saw literally 30 seconds, not even 30 seconds. We saw
Like
5 seconds
five.
of it. Oh
Yeah, it
my
was
God.
insane. I'm excited to kind of see. I feel like he'll be really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope Katie sees to that quickly because I already just don't get good vibes from him at
Right?
all.
And now Carl, the Carl of it all. I had higher hopes for a motivational speaker. Granted, I don't really like know how you get into that occupation. Like I'm
Yeah,
assuming you
me
just have
either.
to be charismatic and have like a cool story, but I thought he was going to be Mr. Nice Guy, like super sweet, not into the drama. And this guy is like dragging everybody, starting drama. He was so I don't know, he was like acting as if he was playing like a football game. Like this is love. This is not about, obviously there's a winner, but he just like seems like he's not in there for the right reasons. And I have a feeling he might be the guy that's there for more clout.
100%. He just like, he radiates, like, if he's the male version of a pick me,
Mm-hmm.
he just radiates like he's so insecure with his life. I don't know how, because you're a motivational speaker. I really had high hopes for him. He's just one of those people that like, just like, he's like the people that would start an MLM.
Yes. No, he is. He's like the male MLN. He's like the male boss babe.
Yeah, it's like really weird. I don't like him. I get really bad vibes from him. And like, I just hope someone puts him in his place.
Me too. I feel like Cody would because he kind of like, stood his ground with Aaron, but he wasn't aggressive. And I feel
Hmm.
like that's the approach you need to take with Carl because if you go at Carl the same way he's going at you, it's just going to be like a big cat fight. Whereas if you're kind of just like, bro, this is stupid, then it'll
Yeah.
just sort of end it.
Yeah. I did not like him. He's
Me
just too
either.
much for me.
No, he's like bottom of the list now.
Yeah. I mean, before he was in the middle, but now he's like really sunken for me.
Me too.
The next guy who I am shocked is the Virgin. Mike the Virgin, the guy who owns the gym.
I didn't expect
I'm
that.
I really hope this isn't like his storyline for the season because I hate when there's a virgin and their entire story is, oh, I'm a virgin. I don't know if I should tell them because Katie's very sex positive. So I don't know how him being a virgin will work.
Mm-hmm.
But he's so nice.
Yeah, I feel like I know it. I'm like kind of over the storyline of being a virgin because who cares? Like it
Mhm.
does at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, he can still be sex positive, like he said, and be a virgin, but why do we need to make a whole storyline about it? Like, let's talk about him owning a gym and he's so nice. Like, he seems like such a sweet guy. Like, let's make a storyline about that. I'm over this virgin storyline because it's so irrelevant to the show.
And it's so overplayed. Like I feel like
Mhm.
every season there's the virgin or every other season and it just drags out.
Yep,
It's very annoying.
I know.
But I do have high hopes for Mike. I do like him a lot.
Me too.
Him and I think it's Greg look like twins. I can't tell them apart like at all.
Wait, is Mike Michael?
No, there's Mike, the gym owner, and then
Okay.
Michael,
Yeah, because I
the
was gonna say
entrepreneur.
no, no, no. Michael is Dino Nuggies.
Oh, I remember roasting him last week too.
Like he's a 37-year-old Dino Nuggies guy, and I just got weird, awkward vibes. Like, love that he has a kid. He has a son, I think he said.
Hmm.
But and his cat or dog or his dog's name is Tommy, just like Katie's cat, which was
Yeah,
cute. But he seemed like almost desperate. I don't know. Like he
yeah.
was just like forcing himself. Like that man was ready to get on one knee day one coming out of the limo. Like he was like, we don't even need to have a conversation, Katie. Let's go. I brought Elvis. He's gonna marry us tonight. Like he was ready.
The only thing I do appreciate is that he didn't make him having a kid his storyline.
Yes.
Kind of said it right up the gate, like I have a kid. And I was
No,
like,
I
okay,
really
rip off the
appreciate that.
band-aid. That's the only thing I liked. It kind of took me back a second when he said he had a kid. I was like, oh, okay. But I liked how she told him, like, I'm open to having kids. I'm open to not having kids. And we've never had a bachelor, I don't think, that's been like in the middle.
No, I love that about her. Like, yeah, she just everybody can relate to her. Like, she's not,
Hmm.
just like one-sided person. She's so like multifaceted. I don't know. There's so much about her. I am obsessed with Katie. The more I watch this, I love her more.
I'm obsessed. I love her so much. The next guy, so the box. So we never got to talk about who was in the box because he was never on the initial list, but it ended up being this guy named James, who is super hot.
He was
When
cute.
he came out and he dresses well, he kind of gives me like Great Gatsby vibes.
Yes.
When I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, like he would be like in the movie like The Great Gatsby.
Right? Because he's in that like three-piece suit. I had never seen anything like that. I swear he had like a pocket watch or something.
I swear, it was insane. And
It-
you could tell their chemistry is there.
yeah.
Very high sexual chemistry.
And I love like Carl and all the guys were complaining about people that had these grand entrances, but I love that. Like that's how you stand out. That is how, the Bachelor, the Bachelorette is going to remember you. Like you're just jealous, Carl, that you didn't come in a box and you didn't think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of annoyed when they were making fun of Connor, the cat guy.
Mr. Cat.
Because yeah, they were like ripping on him, be like, "Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Why would you do that?" And I was like, "If you watched The Bachelorette, I mean The Bachelor, you would have known that Katie's obsessed with her cats. Like
I
that literally
know.
made so much sense.
Yep.
It was literally like Katie's dream entrance. Like, how do the people not get it?
I know. Now we need to talk about the cat because Connor, the cat, that entrance, I honestly was in stitches. Like, it's the fuzzy hands for me. It's the lipstick on his nose for me. It's
It's the whiskers for me.
it's him literally sweating in this cat suit for me.
It's the licking his paw and doing it's for me. Like, it's like
I loved it. At first I thought I was gonna hate it, but the more he was just stayed in his cat character, I was cracking up and that she appreciated it because he clearly did his research and
yeah.
looked into who Katie is, what she loves, and he killed it. I thought it was so funny, and he got a little kiss out of it.
That the kiss was cringy.
It was a little more than a kiss, let's be real, but
But it was good. I was so happy for him because everyone kept making fun of him and I felt really bad. But you know what? He knocked it right out of the park. And I was obsessed. The only person that had a grand entry that went home was Jeff. Like
yeah,
every other person stayed because it was so memorable.
right. The other thing though about Connor the cat was the whole time I was thinking, because he's his teacher, are his students not watching this? And they're like, that is Mr. Cat making out with the bachelorette, getting his whiskers all over her face.
I know. I know.
Like justice for the kids.
Honestly, like if I saw my teacher and he teaches grade 8 too, I think. So if I was in grade 8 watching my teacher on TV making out with this girl with the black all over her nose, I would die.
Me too. It was too much. And like grade eights are old enough to know what the heck is going on, what the show is
Mhm.
about. It was just too much. But I have to give him props. Like he had the best entrance to me ever.
Yeah, I loved it. I really liked it. 10 out of 10. Amazing. I think he's gonna go far. I think he's a little quirky, but so is Katie.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really think they'd mesh well.
Me too.
I love their chemistry. Justice for Greg.
Justice for Greg.
He was really cute. His photos were horrendous.
Horrendous.
Like, really
Like the
bad.
hair, they couldn't have done a worse job with his photo, with his hair. Like I felt
Hmm.
so bad for the guy. I looked on his social media and I was so confused because he looks completely different than his promo photo. And then on the
Yeah,
show, he was like the sweetest little angel ever.
I know. I'm so happy that he got the first impression rose.
Me too.
Um, I think he deserved it. I'm usually like the first impression rose, I'm like, ugh, like it's given to the person who I'm like really like this early. Cause like they're normally someone who like doesn't really wow me at the beginning. But I was thoroughly impressed by Greg
Me
and I feel
too.
bad for him with his pictures. I
I
think the only
know.
picture that Bachelor producers hit the nail on the coffin with was, oh my God, I think his name is the Brendan guy, the one with the
The
swooped
Canadian?
hair.
Oh,
No,
Brandon
the
with the
swooped hair.
bangs. Not the bangs.
He looked like to a T exactly like his photo. Like it
And
killed me.
and he went home. He came out of the car with his bangs and she said, I gotta go snip it or you snip it or get out of here.
Like he's the only person that looks like exactly like his photo, like to a T,
Yeah.
like down to the positioning of his hair. Like it was insane.
I know. But yeah, justice for Greg. Like I love that he was a family guy. Did I hear this correct that he has 8 siblings
Um,
or does he have 8 nieces and nephews? Like I
I
heard the
think
number
it's
8.
nieces and I think it's the nieces and nephews. I can't remember actually.
All I know is he has a big family and I thought it was so cute that his niece made Katie that little pasta necklace.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. Very different. It was like a
Mhm.
nice sentimental gift because I always get confused when people give like something so like loved in their family, like
Mhm.
these random gifts. They're like, "Oh, this is my first. This is passed down from generations." And I'm like, "Okay, so when you go home, like, do you get that gift back?"
Right? Like isn't your grandma looking for her pearl earrings?
Literally, I'm like, "Do you get it back when you go home, or does she keep it forever?"
Right?
Like, I need to know.
I felt like though Greg's delivery on like when he was explaining to Katie what he was giving her, it was kind of like really serious. And I think he was trying to be funny, but his delivery came across as like being dead serious. And I was like, oh no, I
Mhm.
think this is gonna be like really awkward and weird. And then when he pulled out the pasta necklace, I was like, oh my God, Greg, come on. Like he needs to loosen up a bit. I
I
think he was
know.
way too nervous. So like the
Yeah.
delivery of it just came out more awkward than it needed to, but I still
I
loved
hope
it.
that if they have a one-on-one, she wears a necklace.
Oh,
I
that'd be
would
cute.
love to see it.
Me
I
too.
would love to see it. No, I loved Greg. He's definitely like probably in my top 5, I would
He,
say.
me too, girl. Me too.
I think the last thing is their outfit choices.
Okay, the ankles of it all. I can't remember who it was that came out, and it was as if this man bought, either petite pair of pants or he was in the children's section because it was just like all ankle. I think I saw half of his calf, no socks, all ankle, and like go for it. You don't want to wear your socks, like love that look, but like I don't know, was he sitting in the car and his pants pulled up and then when he got out of the car he didn't adjust his pants. He just like was like whatever, I'm going to go ankles out.
I
It
feel like
was just weird.
a lot of some of their outfit choices, I was like, debatable, like
Mhm.
questionable. And they were so tight.
I
Like, I don't
know.
like all their pants were so tight. I was like, oh my gosh,
Right?
it's crazy.
Like, how can you even sit down or like enjoy a drink? Like, I feel like their pants are gonna split at any moment.
But me too. Yeah, it was just, I feel like the guys just don't have, even last season, like their fashion senses, some of them, I'm just like you needed a stylist.
Right? And Gabriel,
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Turtleneck came out here and he was so weird. That hug that he gave, that he was like, he was trying to embrace her and do that breathing exercise. I don't think there was anything more awkward. Like, between the RV eating the celery and Gabriel breathing into her ear heavily, I don't know what was worse.
If someone, okay, maybe it's because I'm not like a touchy-feely person, but if someone hugged me like that, I would feel so uncomfortable. I would
Right?
die on the inside.
Like
It
we
was the
literally just
longest
met.
hug I've ever seen in my life. It was too much.
It was so awkward. And the breathing too. Like it wasn't just like he gave her a nice bear hug. He had to also breathe into her ear with his hot breath. And we're in New Mexico. There's no breeze in sight. It was hot. You could tell all the men were
Oh my
sweating.
God. They should have like if I were there, I would have been like, get me some toilet paper. I need to blot my face. Like it was they were all a mess.
I know, get me a personal fan. Where's the makeup artist spraying me down?
Honestly, I don't know how they don't go to the bathroom and be like, you know what, I'm gonna blot.
I know, especially when they're talking one on one. I feel like the whole time I would just be like staring at their sweaty foreheads.
I'd be like this. I would actually blot for them. I'd be like, you know what, give me 1 second.
I know. Oh, you know who I loved? Trey.
Me too.
His entrance in
Obsessed.
like the little ball pit in his pickup truck. I found that was so cute. They got along right off the bat. Like their
Mhm.
conversation just flowed so well. He was so funny. I loved Trey.
He's such a cutie. I'm obsessed with him.
Me
At
too.
first with his entry, I was like, oh my God, like what's happening? I was so confused. I was like, who is this guy? But after like seeing them interact, I was like, oh my God, they're so cute together.
Right?
He's just like he has like that warm, like hugging personality.
Yeah.
Ugh, he's so cute.
I loved it.
Oh, back to Connor B for a second.
Is that the
I could
cat?
have lived, yes, I could have lived my entire life without seeing his bathroom scene. In the
Me
bathroom,
too.
playing his like, I don't know, like a ukulele or something. It was too much for me. I could have lived my entire life without seeing that. I hated it.
I feel like I feel like he's gonna be like too weird, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I think he wowed her because of the whole cat thing, but I don't know. Yeah, after that bathroom scene and then seeing him in the rest of the season when they did like the teaser promo, I feel like he's just gonna be a bit too strange for her.
Yeah, like and whenever people have like an instrument and they start singing, it gives me these flashbacks to Jed.
Oh my God.
So the only thing is like he actually has a decent voice, which
Yeah,
I could like live with, but I don't know.
it was
I
weird.
love him, but I'm scared for him.
Me too. Me too.
'Cause he seems so quiet. Like I feel like the guys could eat him alive if they really
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yep. And they will.
Yeah,
You know
just
who's
give it
gonna be
some
first
time.
there to feast? Carl. He's gonna say, "Baby, I got my fork, my knife, and my spoon."
Stop. It's so true. I don't like Carl. Like everything about him, like just like annoys me. Like seeing his face annoys me.
Me too. I couldn't stop talking about how much I didn't like him watching the
Yeah.
episode one.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't think even my notes, I was like, I hate Carl.
You know who I just remembered? Two people actually. The deputy district attorney. He was
Who's that?
way cuter, Andrew.
Oh,
He was
yes.
way cuter than I thought. And John was so cute. And Katie literally said, that guy's my type.
Mm. Yeah. Yes, he was so tall.
He was. And he was so
Mm.
sweet.
They were cute. Andrew. Okay, so the guy we were really concerned about Andrew S, the one that plays football. So I'm guessing like he plays football in Vienna, which they said, but he lives in
Yes.
Chicago, I think it was.
Yeah, he lives in Chicago.
Yeah. So I guess it kind of made a little bit like it answered some of our questions. But I just wonder like how is he gonna feel like being engaged, potentially married, and like living half of his year in Vienna playing football.
I know. And same with Katie. Like, after, I feel like after The Bachelorette, you get, all of these promos and you're on like Good Morning America and people want you to sell stuff and you're like, but basically automatically an influencer. And it's going to be
Mhm.
hard for her to go to Austria and watch his like football games. But honestly, I loved him. I found
Oh, me
it
too.
so funny when he came out with his little British accent.
Mhm.
He did it so well.
I know he actually had me convinced.
Right. And then I love that they kept the conversation going when they had like their one-on-one time and they both
Mhm.
were doing like a little British accent and toasting to each other. I thought it was cute.
I loved it. I think he'll make it pretty far. I really liked him. He's so cute, so sweet, and I
Me
just
too.
like he had such a great energy.
Yeah,
I really liked him.
me too.
I think that's pretty much it for all of our guys, the quick recap. So, for those who went home, it was Landon, Brandon, Jeff, Austin, and Marty. I don't know if anyone else went home, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
I think that was it as well.
I was trying to like watch my screen quickly and like pause it and like look through my notes to see what their names were. But I
I
think that's
know.
everyone that went home.
Yeah, I
And then
think that was.
two of our top threes went home, which was really sad.
We were so wrong.
Really bad judgment.
Also, Garrett. Garrett didn't even say a word to her.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't even have an intro and she kept him.
I know. Weird. Well, I mean, looking at who went home, like it's kind of easy. Like there were some
Yeah.
I feel like she sent home like a lot of the weirdos.
And I was gonna say too, in when she was talking to I think it was like Caitlin and Tasha about how she was keeping more of like the nerdy quiet guys and saying how like opposites attract, which I'm a firm believer in.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's probably why she kept like Garrett and those other more quiet guys, because she sort of sees the potential there.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So do you want to go through our top five of who we are hoping will make it there? Okay, so we're gonna do a top seven because Sarah had a hard time debating and cutting
Yes.
it down to five. So my top seven are Greg. I'm gonna keep Cody up there because I see potential. James, Connor B, Andrew S, Mike, and I'm gonna say Blake. And the only reason why I say Blake is because I really think they're gonna mesh. And I know for sure she keeps him on a little bit because he's in the promos. So I think Blake will at least make it to top seven.
Okay. I'm gonna do Greg, the cat, Cody, Trey, Andrew S, John, and Thomas. Thomas
Who
was
was
the first
Thomas?
guy out of the limo, and she was like shook by him.
Oh my god. Okay. We have a few people that we named together. So
Yeah, but we
hopefully our
also have
judgment goes
different
right.
ones.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Me too.
I'm excited to see. So our last little segment is we're going to briefly touch on Chris Harrison. So Chris Harrison is leaving Bachelor Nation permanently. Last night, following the premiere of The Bachelorette, he released a statement on his Instagram saying that he's no longer returning to the franchise. So for those of you that don't know, this came after he came under fire during the last season of The Bachelorette when he said many hurtful things during an interview with Rachel Lindsay. So what do you think about this? I mean, I think him not coming back does not change my mind. I don't really think I'm not gonna not watch because he's not the host. And I think it'll be nice to see something different moving forward.
Yeah, and I don't know. For me, like it wasn't even that he just didn't have nice words to say. Like he was defending someone that was racist, and that just
Yeah.
does not fly. The Bachelor has, history of not having diverse people on the show. Their producers aren't diverse, and they've just had a few scandals. And I think it's time to just close that chapter and like really set a precedent for the show moving forward. And then this opens up so much more opportunity, you know, for people of color, for women, for people of the LGBTQ plus community. Like, I think this is just
Yeah.
going to be the reset that they needed. And I'm excited. Like, yes, I enjoyed watching Chris Harrison, but we've seen him for so many damn seasons, and it was just too much. He's problematic, and I'm really excited to see, you know, who's going to host The Bachelor coming up.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see Tasha and Caitlin take on this role, and they've already done such a good job just on day one, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I think what bothers me the most is that like he was defending Rachel Kirkconnell after she blatantly said in her own statement, like, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. Like what I did
Mm-hmm.
was wrong. Like she acknowledged, like, hey, like what I did was wrong. Like I should have never done that. Let me take the time to educate myself. And she was aware, like, hey, like, okay, I fucked up. Like I shouldn't have done that. Like what I did was wrong. And while even though she was like, don't forgive me, like don't feel bad for me, he was like, oh, but we should feel bad for her. And like he was going completely off of what she was posting on her own. And like when you have people from a season that you just like were hosting and a huge diverse season, which was Matt's season, there were so many people of color. And with Tasha, so many people of color. It was insane. Like we've never seen this many non-white people on a season, I don't think ever.
No.
Having him come on and kind of make them feel lesser than, like, it's like disappointing.
It was. It totally like took away from the entire conversation that they were trying to start. And it just
Hmm.
wasn't fair to any of the people that were on the show for the viewers watching. Like, it was messy and just wrong in so many ways. And I'm really excited to not have to see him on my screen anymore, to be honest.
Honestly, same. And to all the people that are like, I'm not gonna watch again, cool. Like, have fun not watching the Bachelor franchise. I literally don't care. And all the people that were commenting, like, this is unfair, like 99% of them are all white.
Exactly. Like, who cares? You really think the Bachelor franchise cares that Karen down the street is not turning her TV on every Monday night? No. Like,
And like, it's over someone who literally says probably 5 phrases every episode. Like, it's not like he's the main character in a show and like it cannot move on without him. Like, it's not like the show is dead without Chris Harrison. They're
yeah,
acting as if there's no more Bachelor without him.
I know. Like, he literally
So,
just reads the script.
yeah, it's insane. I'm
He,
happy. I'm excited to see where this goes.
me
I'm
too.
excited to not see his old ass on my screen anymore.
I know. Like, literally, all I know that he does is say, "This is the final rose." And then, ladies, gentlemen, this is the final rose. Anyone else
Ladies
can
and
do it.
gentlemen, here's the date card.
Right.
I
And
can do that.
everyone also was like, why is everyone getting so excited about Chris Harrison? Like, who cares?
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh my God. I'm just excited to see like where this goes, where Bachelor in Paradise goes moving forward past the season that's going to be filmed soon,
Hmm.
and to see who's going to host Michelle's season, who's going to host the next Bachelor. I hope they switch it up. And this is a great opportunity for Bachelor producers to get in some more POC. So
I
they should
know,
do their job. And, you
right?
know, like it's time to move on and show more representation other than like one skin color, to be honest. Like now's the
Hmm.
time to make that change that people have been begging for years.
I know. And it shouldn't have had to take 2020 for them to finally have this change. Like, how are we not doing this 10 years ago? Like, it's
Yeah.
absurd that it took this long to finally see diversity on our screens. It's just ridiculous and just goes to show how behind we are as a society. But I
Mhm.
really hope they do take this opportunity to actually, you know, say what they're going to say and have more people of color. Like, let's see some LGBTQ members on here. Like, I think it was
Yeah.
Demi who was the only openly gay person on the show, and then now that Colton has come out as gay, like, let's get in some more people onto the show. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't need to be this straight and narrow cookie cutter
Mhm.
show that it used to be. Like, let's evolve with the times.
Speaking of LGBTQ, I don't know if you saw this, but I think Australia has their first LGBTQ, like, I think it's the Bachelorette.
Yeah, she's bi.
Yeah, like their first person who's like bisexual
I
as like the
know.
main person. So I'm really excited. I honestly want to watch that just because I'm really curious as to how they're gonna do it. Like they're gonna have guys and girls on that season, and I think maybe they could watch and learn from there. Like how can we implement this into like the American Bachelor franchise? Because that would be so interesting. I would love to watch.
Me
I think it would
too.
be amazing. And just like to show people like, hey, like you can turn on the TV and see people like you, see people that represent what you represent on your TV screen. I think it's really important, especially now in like in our day and age, like people don't see enough of themselves, people that
Yeah,
represent them, like on posters or on TV. So it's really important. Well, I'm excited for next week's episode. I'm excited to see when Blake comes on. I'm just very curious to see how he'll make his grand entrance.
me
And
too.
I hope they address the Aaron and Cody of it all because I really want to know why they don't like each other or
Me
why it's
too.
one-sided, why Aaron doesn't like Cody.
Right? Like I don't even remember seeing in the promo for next week if they even talk about it.
I don't know. Like it's weird. I feel like it was an editing error.
Right? Like one of the producers was just like editing at 3 in the morning and just left a little snippet in there. It was supposed to be like the teaser for before the show aired, and he was like, "Oh, first episode, whatever."
Right? I'm excited to see how Katie's season progresses and what's going to happen and if this will like kind of open up some more doors within Bachelor franchise and make it less cookie cutter like oh like I'm just a normal, like the norm.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Let's
I,
see
I
some
think it
new
will.
stuff on TV. I'm excited.
Me too. It's gonna be a good season, I think. And it looks dramatic. Like Katie's
Yeah.
crying, the guys are crying. Oh, I have one prediction.
What?
I have a feeling that Greg is gonna pull Brendan from Tasha season, and like they're gonna be like so in love, and he's gonna be like her number one, and then he's gonna get cold feet and leave. And that's when I think she's gonna have her like breakdown, like they were showing of her crying and saying she wants her plane ticket home. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that that might be Greg's little
Ooh,
storyline.
maybe. Or maybe it's the Virgin, because even he was crying and he was like holding his cross and he was like, I don't know what he said, but he was like freaking out and like debating. I don't know if it was like debating on having sex with her or what it was. So I'm excited to see that play out too.
Me too. It's gonna be a juicy season.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Well, I think that's everything for today's episode. Any final
Yes.
thoughts?
No, I'm just really excited. It feels like we've opened a new book in the Bachelor franchise,
Mhm.
and I hope that that's actually what's happening. And I'm excited for these guys. It's nice to see such diversity in the men this season.
Mhm.
Like I'm happy that they kept that up. And it's nice to have a relatable bachelorette like Katie. Again, I love Tasha so much. I love Caitlin Bristow. I think it's just going to be such a good season. I'm really excited about it.
Me too. I'm so excited. It looks like so much fun, and I can't wait to see how Tasha and Caitlin host and what they bring to the table
Me too.
and how they assist Katie, because I feel like they're going to give her a lot of good advice. So I think she'll have an easier time than like other like previous bachelorettes.
I agree. It's going to be a lot easier, I think, to navigate having the female empowerment behind you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so excited.
Me too. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up now. So, thank you everyone for tuning in and listening to, I guess this was our third episode,
Yeah.
which is really exciting. But yeah, if you want to follow us on Instagram, you can follow us at our group chat podcast. We are on Spotify. We're getting on Apple as soon as possible. And then we also have a YouTube channel where you can watch the video version of this as well, again, at our group chat podcast. But yeah,
Yes. If you guys have any suggestions of anything that you'd like us to talk about, or if there's other TV shows that you guys watch that you want us to watch and debrief, let us know. We are open to ideas. Any celeb gossip, send us a DM. We would love to talk about it because we talk about this every day.
literally.
But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.